Welcome back to World of Warcraft Expansion Locked, a series where I take on the insane challenge of locking myself into a random expansion and I can't leave until I collect and complete everything in the expansion. I started this journey in the Burning Crusade at a merely 17.85%. It will not stop until I reach a full 100% in every single expansion. If you haven't watched the last episode, a link will be down in the description for you to stay caught up. Let's get back into it. Welcome back to Expansion Locked. Previously on Expansion Locked. We started Netherstorm questlines, ended up going back to Blade's Edge to do the questline to unlock the Orgrill dailies, and then back to Netherstorm to finish questing and end up hitting level 71 and getting kicked out of Chromie time. We flipped a coin to see if we would be Aldor or Scryers on our main character. We ended up at Aldor, and then we did our first run into farming dungeons and raids by doing the 3 dungeons at Netherstorm and finishing off with Kael'thas and Tempest Keep. We ended the video at 22.3% and we're heading into Shadowmoon Valley. We start off Shadowmoon Valley for the first time, working on completing all the quests here and gathering rep for Aldor. Questlines in Shadowmoon Valley are a little different, as we have the attunement for Black Temple, which I will finish over the next few weeks. Shadowmoon Valley has no dungeons, but one raid, the Black Temple. There are 3 rares we need to farm here: Krator, Collidus, and Ambassador Jerichar. There is also the second and last world boss here in this expansion. The first was in Hellfire, Doomlord Kazak, and here in Shadowmoon there is Doomwalker, a big Fel Reaver that hangs outside the Black Temple entrance. While I edit these episodes, I sit here and wait the world bosses, as sitting here for hours is not really fun stream content. Now that I'm out of Chromie time, I'll be working on these questlines intermittently while also running dungeons and raids. Speaking of, we're going to run Gruul's Lair now. Gruul's Lair has 2 bosses. The first is High King Malgar, which drops 6 transmog pieces and 3 sets of shoulder tier pieces. And the last boss is Gruul the Dragon Killer. He drops 3 sets of leg tier pieces and 9 sets of transmog pieces. We learn about Gruul through the questlines in Blade's Mountains and also fight his sons. There's also one last son we haven't seen yet. He's over in the Grand, running circles like a NASCAR driver around the Great Crystal, which we'll learn more about another time. After Gruul's Lair, we weren't messing around. We went straight into Serpent Shrine Cavern for the first time. This raid is in Zagarmarsh and consists of 6 bosses. One of them is only summable by fishing. First boss on the list is Hydros the Unstable, a big water elemental who has 9 transmog items, 1 shaman illusion, and 1 battle pet, Tainted Waveling. The next boss would be Leo Thuris, the Blind. He drops 5 transmog pieces and 3 set glove tier pieces. Not too many items. Following the path leads to Fathom Lord Karathris, which has even less items at 3 transmog pieces and 3 tier leg pieces. Finishing the route leads to Morgrim Tidewalker. He doesn't drop any set pieces, but he does drop 9 transmog pieces and 1 battle pet, Tide Skipper. And lastly on the list would be Lady Vash, with 9 transmog pieces, 3 set tier helmets, and 1 battle pet, the Coilfang Stalker. Now at the beginning I said there was going to be a summonable boss. That would be the lurker below. If you go to this pool in the middle of the raid and fish, there's a chance to summon the boss. Now the pool doesn't go away, so you just kind of keep fishing until he pops up. After you kill him, he can drop 8 transmog pieces, so I'll be farming him on a fisher every time, as there's no rep to this raid. While we were on the raid grind, and in Shadowmoon Valley, I figured I'd run Black Temple next. Black Temple is a very long dungeon, as there aren't any optional bosses in the raid like Serpent Shrine Cavern. The raid has 9 bosses, the last one being one of the most iconic in the whole game, Illidan Stormrage. I feel like you've heard me talk a lot about loot from these raids, so I think this time I will talk more about the lore, and maybe next time we can discuss the loot drops. We end up breaking a hole on the outer wall and make our way towards the Black Temple, killing a high warlord Nagentis, and make our way to the front gate guarded by Supremus. After we defeat him, we are in. We head over to find the stealthy boy Akama and basically tell him to summon his bad boy side and kill that for him, as he fears that it may take over and he will be a bad role model for his friend group. Next, we head down the hall and make our way to Terran Gorfiend. Gorfiend convinced Ner'zhul to basically invade the other worlds and attack Draenor in the first place. He ended up being slain by Turalyon. Years later, he gets resurrected, just for it to spawn kill him anyways.
Spawn die. Spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die!
Next on the list are 2 random boys. Reliquary of Souls, which is 3 big clams, and then Gurtog the Blood Boil, some big brolic red dude. These guys are just kind of there, nothing much about them. Then we make our way up to the stairs to Mommy Sharaz. This girl got 6 arms and steam coming out of her head. Back in the day, WoW players had a lot of mother issues, so they added this character in. Right past her, we make our way to the Illidari Council. 4 dudes that were brought here by Kael'thas, as they were very powerful and very good at sports. They consisted of a paladin, a rogue, a mage, and a priest. All very boring classes. And lastly, the big man himself. The man who doesn't care how long your girl takes to get ready, she will still not be prepared. Illidan Stormrage. He takes control of the Black Temple, driven by desperation to destroy the Burning Legion, and will do anything in his power to stop them. Which we don't morally agree with at the time, so we try to kill him, as we judge him for killing, but we are allowed to, yeah. Anyways, he eventually in later expansions becomes a good boy, then kills a Naru, but we look past that. Anywho, that is the whole lore of the Black Temple. Next time I run it, I'll talk more about the loot. I just figured you guys are kind of bored of me talking about loot and about the tier sets and transmog and blah 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 blah. Let me know if you guys can get bored of the transmog talks while I do these dungeons and raids. I mean, they're mostly done anyways, but just let me know in the comments down below. I decided to take a break from raids and work on a few dungeons. As I run through these instances, let's learn about why we are here in Shadowmoon Valley in the first place.
Our path leads us at last into Shadowmoon Valley, the heart of Illidan's dominion. Volcanic ridges and fell-choked skies mark a land scarred by corruption, where the Black Temple looms over all. Here, Illidan Stormrage gathers his forces, shaping Outland into his fortress against the Legion and Azeroth alike. If Outland is to be freed, his reign must end. Yet victory here will shake the very balance of power across the world. Shadowmoon is the most dangerous battlefield in Outland. Demons, fell orcs, and Illidari stalk the land, each loyal to the betrayer's cause. At its center stands the Black Temple, once a Draenei holy place, now defiled into Illidan's seat of power. Here we face not only Illidan's army, but his greatest lieutenants, warlocks, demon hunters, and broken Draenei who have pledged themselves to his vision of power. To breach the temple is to strike at the very core of his dominion. Within, Illidan himself awaits, a once heroic figure who defied the Legion, but who has become consumed by his own lust for control. His defeat is not just the fall of a tyrant, but the breaking of Outland's chains. Illidan Stormrage falls, his dark reign over Outland broken at last. His defeat marks the end of one tyrant's grip, but it does not bring peace. The Black Temple's silence is heavy, and the valley still seethes with fell corruption. With Illidan gone, the balance of power shifts once more, and Outland's fate remains uncertain. Our journey carries us next into the contested heart of Terokkar.
After running the 3 dungeons in Hellfire Peninsula, I decided to finish it off with a raid, Megtheridon's Lair. This is the smallest raid of the expansion, being only 1 boss, Megtheridon, if you couldn't guess by the name. He drops 11 transmog pieces and 3 set tier chest pieces. He also drops a sack of gems every time you kill him, which helps you with professions early on, but late game you won't really need to farm them. Megtheridon's Lair is actually below Blood Furnace, one of the Hellfire Peninsula dungeons we ran earlier. When killing the last boss in the dungeon, if you look down, you're actually standing on the cage above him. You can hear him talking periodically while making your way through the dungeon. I decided since we're already on the grind, let's do other dungeons as we need to get the reputation and we can work on getting some drops and patterns from the bosses. First on the list was Auchenai Crypts. This dungeon is one of the 4 in Auchendoon found in Terokkar Forest. This dungeon has 2 bosses with 1 extra summonable boss, only on heroic. The key to summoning him though, is once the boss has 33,000 health left, he starts to summon him. So if you one-shot the boss or kill him too quickly, he won't summon him. I will work on farming the summonable boss later on in the series as I have a plan for it. And right now I kind of just one-shot it. Next was Shadow Labyrinth. This instance has 4 bosses and one of them actually drops a leather working pattern which I'll need to farm. My idea at first was to get the dungeons out of the way as soon as possible to help with the reputation, and I figured greens would be harder to get. At the beginning of the series, I actually kept extra greens in my bank to send when I unlocked a second character. Boy was I wrong. Farming these dungeons did give me insight on how the dungeons worked after Chromie time, as when I started this series and challenge, I had no clue on how any of it would work. Or if it even would work. I just knew I liked collecting and I was not a big fan of the endgame content anymore. I just wanted something different. This challenge really opened my eyes while farming things and sometimes made me realize there's a lot easier ways, long after the fact. If you are someone who is also interested in collecting or even just wants to play with people, I started a guild called Expansion Locked. It is welcome to all. We have people who are collectors and some who aren't, some who are doing endgame content who just wanted to join in the community, and that's perfectly fine. I started hosting monthly events and we are looking for more people to join. You can find the guild on the Guild Finder on Alliance, or if you are on Horde, add me on Battle.net or come by my stream and I can add you in. You can find our first guild community event day over on the channel. We locked level 30 characters and are running the TBC heroic dungeons to get the guild achievements. We want to do the raids also, so we need more of every class and spec to join and help us out with the challenge. The goal of my series is 100% WoW, and that includes all the guild achievements as well. So come join if you're interested or looking for somewhere to fit in. I know this episode is supposed to be about Shadowmoon Valley, and I did do a few quests there at the beginning of the episode, but since one of the quests gave me a dungeon questline, I figured I would knock out some of the dungeons to break up the constant questing of these episodes. But I do still want to talk about Shadowmoon Valley and what is involved with 100%ing the zone. Shadowmoon Valley has one reputation, which is the Netherwing. There are also quest spots for Aldor and Scryer, depending which side you choose, but we can talk about that later on. But the main reputation in Shadowmoon Valley is the Netherwing. The rep takes place in the corner here. You essentially turn in some daily quests for reputation, just like Orgala and Blade's Edge Mountains. Also with this reputation, you could find some eggs in the mines of Netherwing Ledge to hand in for a good chunk of rep. These eggs are also dropped by Netherspite and Karazhan if you want to farm them that way. Once you reach Exalted with Netherwing from doing the dailies, you get a quest that, when accepted, flies you back to Shatrath, and you get a pick from one of the 6 Netherwing Drake mounts. After you choose one, if you return back to the Netherwing Ledge, you can talk to the vendor and buy the other 5 for about 200 gold each. I already have these mounts and don't need anything from the reputation, but I still will farm this eventually on my hunter, as I want all reputations maxed on him, and I'll need all reputations exalted to unlock one of the alt characters in the series. Okay, let's finish off the episode with the 3 dungeons from Netherstorm. This series takes a change starting with episode 4, as I can do whatever I want now. I don't need to follow the questing as a guideline for progress. So there will be some episodes where it's mostly dungeons and raids, or farming specific achievements or drops. I will learn as we go on how to proceed with editing in this style, as it's a lot different than the last 3 episodes. Last episode we explained these dungeons, so I won't bore you again, but I'll just show you the loot of the bosses that we got. The total percentage of the series will dramatically change as we differ from what we farm in the series. I will also update the personal unique quests that I have created and talked about in episode 2, for unlocking alts as we go. It won't be every episode, but if we get any major progress towards them, I'll probably throw in a quick blurb in the episode. After the expansion, I will also need to come up with new personal quests for the expansion we randomly spin. So if you have any ideas, put them down in the comments below, and if I use it, I will give you a shout out in the video. If you're also in the Discord, you can put your ideas there in the chat and I can give you a quick response as well. Link for the Discord will be in the description. As we end off the last of the Netherstorm dungeons and we make our way to the end of the episode, let's go over what we accomplished in this video, see where we started and see where we're leaving off. We started off the episode doing a few quests for Shadowmoon Valley. We then ran a few raids for the week: Gruul's Lair, Meg Theridon's Lair, Black Temple, and Silver Shrine Cavern. After that, we did some dungeons. We did the 3 in Hellfire Peninsula, the 3 in Netherstorm, and 2 of the 4 from Auchindoun for the quests. And as we hand in these last few quests today, I can let you know that we started this episode off at 22.3%. And as we hand in this last quest here, we officially end the episode at 25.53%. If you're still watching the video and made it this far, thank you for sticking it through to the end. Make sure you let me know your thoughts on this series so far down in the description. I'll try to upload more videos more often. You can come watch me live on Twitch or here on YouTube every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.